a week it has been.
Hot week, baby.
Oh, my goodness. Well, let me start this one off, I guess, by telling you things that you already know. We are in no way affiliated with either program or show or host or media group. We're also not lawyers. We're just a couple of fans.
Yep.
And, this situation went down. It was big in the local area, Tampa Bay, St. Petersburg area. So if you're not, you may not know who we're talking about. But if you are, you definitely know.
I don't know. It's been picking up steam.
Yeah.
Daily Mail's picked it up. Blaze TV picked it up.
I did not know that.
Yeah, big social media accounts have picked it up. Like, it's getting a little thing. It's getting a little steam. Yeah. They already got memes about it. Oh, boy. So you made a big time if you got memes.
I haven't seen the memes, and I'm all over the social media. I don't get it. But it's pretty on brand for us to not be at odds with each other over this, but the fact that we
like different sides.
Right, majority fan of the other host. Myself being a fan of the Mike Calta show.
Me, big fan of the Bubba the Love Sponge show.
And yet we're still buddies, sitting down at the table. We're going to have a civil conversation about this. We're not going to talk over each other.
Nope.
Seen a lot of you people on the internet not being nice to each other over this. It's not worth it, but apparently to them it is. So let's take you back. It was last Monday. I woke up in the middle of the morning, really. It was like 2 in the morning. I was wide awake. Don't know why. Couldn't go back to sleep. Roll over, look at my phone.
Your senses were tingling.
Yeah,
something was wrong.
Something's up. That must be what it was.
Right.
And then I see a video circulating on social media about Mike Calta. It was titled that he assaults a fan.
Right.
So I'm watching this, and of course I'm not familiar with. I mean, I was familiar with Bubba when he was on 102.5 back in the day, when it used to be like half talk, half classic rock,
right.
And now it's been all talk for a little over 10 years, almost 11. And to watch that, I was a little upset. I was actually pretty upset.
Yeah.
Just because, I really enjoy that show. I get it. I don't know him personally, but after listening for that many years, over 10 years, back when he was still Cowhead on in the afternoons, it was tough to kind of watch that because it's like, damn, dude, really? So if you haven't seen the footage, and of course we'll break it down, it's a woman with her phone recording him, saying things to him. He's telling her like how you're here fighting his battles. Like, how am I pathetic?
Calta's at a what was he?
It was at Shark Coast Tactical during the Myco radio show, which is on weekends, I believe, on a Saturday.
But he invited fans to come
he was
down
going to be a
stuff.
special
It was a
guest.
public event.
Right.
It wasn't like at his house in his front yard mowing the yard and she came rolling up.
This video starts and they're already kind of jawing at each other. She's got a phone up, and then he's like, that's how pathetic, your life is. You have to come down here, fight his battles. And then she makes a comment to him about being pathetic. And he's like, how's my life pathetic? Look at all these people. Takes the phone out of her hand to show on her video all the people that are here to see. Then she wants the phone back. He refuses to give her the phone back. Says you'll get it, you'll get it outside. Go wait outside. We'll give you the phone back then. And then she grabs his shoulder and then reaches across to where it was just a face palm. It was just full Buddhist palm, and he's a big dude.
Yep.
Just pretty much get the fuck off me and big shove, and that was kind of tough to watch at first, but I didn't feel like I had enough info. It was just the initial reaction, which is why we've waited to see what more was going to come from this.
We were going to talk about it last week. Because right when we were gonna record a show, it was brand new, like a day after it came out, and then when you found out that it was actually Bubba the Love Sponge girlfriend, which I'm curious to see when you found that out, your mood changed.
My mood changed because and that's why I always wait, because you never know the perception that someone's trying to put on you with video. Or even just with our words, if we just want to, manipulate you into thinking a certain type of way about somebody or a topic. with it saying that he assaults fan, and then come to find out that this is Bubba the Love Sponge's girlfriend, then I'm like, okay, well then why was she at the event? Like, there's no love there. You know what I mean?
Right.
So you're here to kind of stir up a little trouble, I guess. I'm not sitting there saying that, it's great. The shove was, okay because of that. But there are certain things that lead up to crap like this happening. Like if we were out at a bar and my ex's friends happen to be at the bar and you and I are trying to talk with somebody that maybe we want to interview, like it's kind of a night out for us and we're getting to know somebody that we want to have as a guest on the podcast, and then I got somebody up in my face like recording and like, talking, why did you leave her? Why did you do this? Why did you do that? And I don't know, maybe you catch me on the wrong day. I wouldn't do that.
I mean,
but
see, and this is
so annoying.
This is
how we are. Like, I'm looking at what you're doing.
But
I get it's technically legal, but
just like in politics, it's okay. It's okay for somebody to do something. Whether it's good, bad, whatever. But everybody when they first saw it, oh my God. That's wrong.
Everybody was.
But then because of who the person's affiliated with, now it's kind of okay. It's validated. She deserves it. Like you said, was she going? Was she even doing there? My take is this: regardless, it shouldn't matter.
I agree.
Because,
the shoving.
Because,
I made that a point. I'm not saying that's justified.
Let me give you an example. Let me give you this example. Let's just say we're out somewhere in a public event, right? Okay. We tell people, hey, meet us at Mocha Latte, Java House, whatever the fuck. I don't know.
Hooters.
And then let's just say, my ex shows up, right? And she's,
And I
got the
Buddhist palm. Get away.
Okay, let's go with that.
I get mad, right?
Let's just say. She comes up with the camera, and I don't know, maybe she's a big fan of I don't know, let's just say the Steel Toe Morning Show, I don't know.
Okay.
Let's just say that. Big fan,
I like
right?
That. It rhymes.
Big fucking fan.
Me too.
And, she's got it up in her face, whatever, got the camera, asking questions, whatever. And you face palm her, whatever. Do exactly what he did.
Take her phone.
Yeah. Heisman'd her right in the face, got her kicked out, whatever, and then, okay. So, I got to tell you something, man. Like, regardless of who you like in your life, who you may have respect for, role model, whatever, there has to be a line of, that's too far, I can't associate myself with you sort of thing. So, for instance, if you did that to my ex, even though I have very strong feelings towards my ex that are not good, that's kind of a line where it's like, dude, if that's what you're, if you can't get your shit together, especially in a public place where someone's got recording, and you can't keep your shit together, and you're doing that to a female, which a lot of times, what do we always say? Leave women and children out of it, no matter what kind of bullshit's going on.
Everybody's equal now, man.
Well,
it's 2023.
But I'm just saying, there's a line.
How does it feel?
Look, we're best friends. We're brothers. Right. I would do anything for you. But if you put your hands on a woman, I don't give a fuck who she is. That's just a line that you do not cross. And there's no way I could be like, well, it was my ex, or it was, Ryan's ex.
Right, unless they're beating up
on
you or something.
Well, right, exactly.
If it's actual self-defense. But even at that, who kind of knows? Because in that moment, and I know we're playing keep away, which can be annoying. I thought back to my childhood, I used to always wear hats. I always wore a hat everywhere I went.
Right.
And those moments where someone, like Jake Paul, Floyd Mayweather, got your hat, got your hat. It's fucking irritating. I get that. And he's looking to his left. As he's doing that, and he's trying, like, here's the phone, we'll give it to you outside, because that's what they were saying. And then one hand touches the shoulder, then the next one's right here. Now, if this is in my peripheral, maybe I don't really know what your intention is. Even though I outweigh you or what, just now and I think that's why the state's attorney's report was saying he was trying to create space. I could see it going that way. Dude, if I'm looking over here and all of a sudden I got sudden movement It's an innate aversion. We talked about that in our phobia episode last year on Halloween. Sudden movements. It's going to startle you and you're going to have a reaction. And to savor the irony, his t-shirt said, "Don't poke the bear." And it kind of feels like they sent her in there to poke the bear.
All right.
Bubba's having his girlfriend basically fight his battles for him to create content for his show because he's got, what, parody songs and...
So, okay, let me... I hear your points.
That's it.
Let me bring up a couple things. Maybe you may know, maybe you may not know. I don't know.
Not, yeah.
So let's say the video footage that is out that we all see was actually from Cox Media.
Right, they did
Okay.
submit the footage.
Okay.
Not hers, it was the video that's circulated.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's got security there. He's got like managers, I guess, Mike Oliveira and
He's a promotions
some
director.
Kelly guy, whatever. I don't know. They have people
I think it was
there.
Corey Cardinal.
They
Corey
have-
Cardinal that was there.
They
as
have
well.
people there, right?
Yes.
He's not just there all by himself. He spots her when she comes in the very beginning. They let her. Mike Calta lets the security go. Let her through.
Right, they were gonna stop
Let
her.
let her through. Calls her pumpkin. How you doing? Like
Gives her a hug.
Gives her a hug. He knows who she is, so he invites.
He already
her.
knows it's probably why he did that as a show of good faith, and then she's got to start on him for what? That's, I guess, my point.
Well, okay, so from what I've heard from his side is because he didn't show up, he didn't go.
No.
He advised her not to do it. She wanted to go, allegedly, because she was just trying to get a sound bite, pretty much asking him questions about, again, the fucking sex tape, and which I'm over it.
Right.
I'm over
We're
it.
all over it.
Because here's my thing. He's been saying he's got a documentary coming out and stuff like that. Like, go off that and let that be like kind of enough. Like and
Like I said, he's got no content. We got to dig up old wounds because I got nothing to talk about that's interesting today.
Well, whatever.
Or tomorrow.
Whatever she was there, right? And you could have prevented it from the get-go, right? You could have.
could have.
You could have ended it right there, but you didn't. So you played along with it.
Yeah.
And another thing, he took her phone. Why? Okay. Why are you taking her phone? If you have nothing to hide or anything like that, why are you taking her? Let her record you. Just don't. You cannot answer her questions, right? How many reporters do we see? Especially look at Joe Biden. Peter Ducey asked him about the Maui wildfires, and he just goes, no comment. How many celebrities do we see? They ask them questions, whether it's being arrested or anything like that. Reporters are right in their face. No comment, or they don't answer. So, again, it's like, I really don't care who it is. If you cannot conduct yourself in that manner, and this is on a public scale.
Right, that's...
What are you doing behind closed doors? We don't know. But if you're going to be that quick to lose your shit, which you had many opportunities to avoid from the beginning, but you didn't, for whatever reason, and you still do that, I'm sorry. It's hard for me.
It's hard to disagree with that. That's a good point. It's hard to disagree with that.
It's hard for me to defend it. Now,
I can admit he fell into the trap.
Right. So then on the law side, okay, so Bubba, replayed the video of it, and he broke it down to the Florida state statutes. So however crazy as we think, laws are laws, right? Like speed limits, we may think 30s is fucking stupid, right? Well, a lot of us are going to go over it.
He also broke it down all 5 days of the week.
Yes.
Good Lord, buddy.
Yes. Well, listen, I mean,
some new material.
There's personal heat. But
I can understand, but here, real quick, sorry, you can continue right after this, because this is a quote from a loyal Bubba Army fan. Oh, my goodness.
Allegedly, we don't really know.
Right, everybody's fake, right.
Well, we don't,
Right. Even, okay, they asked, has he provided humor and entertainment this week, or has he spent the entire week on a self-serving attempt to even an old score with a rival Bay Area radio personality? Even the video from 3 days ago, Bubba breaks his silence on Calta, like he hasn't done that for years. It's like we're just continue, like he's kind of got an obsession. But go ahead.
Okay, so
I get it's personal.
You break down the statutes and everything, and there was I think 5 of them that statutes that Calta, broke, I think. Or
That's
did.
what they were trying to prove.
Right.
These were the charges
We got right, and
that they were trying to
and the
file.
Sarasota police wanted to put charges on him, and they were going to do that. Now, this happened 8 weeks ago. We didn't know about it. This happened 8 weeks ago.
Right, we didn't know about it till a week and a half
right.
ago.
So from their side, they said they strung her along and they were going to press charges. And then they kept saying, oh, well, the lead attorney over there, whatever.
Is it Ed Broski or something?
Something like that. Called off sick. He's on vacation. We'll come back to you in a couple weeks.
This part was weird.
Then all of a sudden they call. She's on her way with her own lawyer to go down there to do the meeting because I guess she had to sign documents.
No, they submitted a victim impact panel to the judge. A written statement or verbal statement from her.
Right.
Recorded.
And then they call her up and they go, yeah, we're not going to press charges. Have a good day. And, then they requested, the statement, and I guess that's what Bubba posted on his Twitter, Instagram, whatever. And to me, it's like, Bubba's been freaking out all week, like, how are you not pressing charges, all this other stuff, and it's like, well, listen, when you're at a certain status, you know a lot of people, just even on bigger scales we see it, people grease people's hands. Now, granted, though, if he were to get charged, he wouldn't get arrested. It's his first offense, so he would have done some community service, but it would be on record, right? My feelings is I don't really care if he gets arrested or not because it's out there. It's mainstream media, and, I mean, you did the act. I mean, I don't really care if you get charged or not. You should not have done that.
Right. I'll put this out there. Even though I'm still a fan of the show, I still like listening. When I really think about how it made me feel initially, before I knew all the extra nonsense behind it, if I go on that initial, I didn't like it. I was really upset by it.
But because of who it was, it kind of made
and then all the info that
validation.
comes out afterwards. There's a quote, a post from the wife of the guy that runs Shark Coast, that it was his current girlfriend. This is what she says. From his own mouth, he knew she was going there, and they wanted to get a soundbite. It's a huge grand opening event at our place of business my husband worked for months on. We're a family-owned business. We paid big money to have 1025 The Bone to be there. She came into the store twice looking for Calta to instigate trouble. We had several hundred people in the store at the time. The second she walked in the store, she was yelling, disturbing the peace. Now, I don't know because the video didn't start that. This is what she has to say. This is a witness. She was almost immediately thrown out, but Calta granted her an interview, like you said, allowed her in.
Yep.
She talked to him for approximately 4 minutes. Then she started to get loud and obnoxious, asking him about the Hogan sex tape. They bantered for a bit, then it escalated. That's where this video is kicking in. You also might see in the video in her purse, which I did see, there's a second phone sticking out, like just so that the camera can kind of see too. So, be that as it may.
Which no one's addressing.
Right, no one's addressing, and no one's addressing why. Ultimately, why it felt so strongly that she had to go down there to get answers about something from so long ago.
Right.
And Bubba was trying to use some kind of statute about like, oh, you're holding somebody from being able to call 911. She got the second phone jack. She could call from that.
Right.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
There's a couple things from both sides where we're just leaving tidbits out or saying it in a different way that makes it sound a little bit better. On both sides, I can see that. But once she was thrown out, many of the customers left the event. So she ruined the whole day. Or that altercation ruined the whole day. While out of control, she tried to get back into the event several times, was told to stay outside and wait for police, but she was pretty hysterical at the time after she gets shoved in the face. I mean, her voice sounded like Minnie Mouse. Like, if I close my eyes and and Bubba even joked about that. Like, there's no law against freaking out. Yeah, freaking out like Minnie Mouse if you get, bashed in the face.
Right.
But she was given her phone back outside within 4 minutes of the incident.
See, but why?
But he deleted And you can see at the end of the
two
video.
videos.
Yeah, you can see at the end of the clip that he's deleting the video.
Going through her phone, deleting videos.
Right. They were recovered by the police officer. Like, he was trying to walk her through it, Bubba was saying.
Yeah.
And then ultimately he just went ahead and did it for her. So it did get recovered. So whatever footage was on there apparently didn't sway the outcome either.
Well, no, that's in investigation right now because they're doing a civil suit.
Okay.
This is a separate.
This is new.
This is a separate thing. So the videos
the saga continues.
Right. The videos that they recovered are the initial. Again, to my points, he knows who she is.
Right.
They let her in. He's not rolling around naked. Like, he's got people, security, and all this stuff.
They're in a gun shop,
They let him in. He hugs her.
Right.
Like, and I'm just saying, like, even for people who hate Bubba, and, like, just because who the person is doesn't make an excuse. I mean, unless if she's Hillary Clinton or Whoopi Goldberg, I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't really care. Like, Whoopi. I'm just saying, like, I mean, it's no excuse.
Right.
And then on top of that, you took her phone, and then you escort her out, and then you're scrolling through deleting shit. Like, there's personal shit on there.
Right, you shouldn't go scrolling through and deleting stuff.
You just do not look good, and
it was a bad look.
And again, the bias, which everyone has bias. Everyone's on a team, right?
You should see the fucking threads and forums of people fighting with each other.
Right.
I'm sure.
But
start in the comments.
But the hysteria of and allegedly, from what I heard from Bubba's side, I have to be fair.
Cool.
What I heard from him is that there was one of the hosts on 1025, I don't know who, he didn't say, claimed that she jumped on Calta's back. And I'm like, okay, what video are we watching?
I didn't even hear that.
But yeah, so I'm like, okay, like, again.
Maybe somebody was trying to make a joke and didn't land.
So, okay, so the video comes out,
Wouldn't
whatever.
be the first time.
So he's been suspended now. He just came back today while we recorded
Today
this.
he came back.
Today's Thursday.
This morning.
But he's been he was gone, I guess suspended, but he was just gone for a week.
A week and 3 days.
And here's some other things that make him look bad, okay? So you look at a couple sponsors, small sponsors. I forgot their names, so I'm sorry. They left 1025 the bone. The Lightning was on the fence, right? From what I heard, Lightning was on the fence. Yes.
See, I didn't know about any sponsors being dropped at all because Bud Light's still doing the Calta Comedy Circus and all those. So I'm like, okay, I guess nothing really happened.
Well, here's why.
The Lightning were on the fence.
Just like the Lightning and Cox Media Group, they have when you look up the company or go on their website, they are big on women empowerment. Promoting women within, believing women, all this other stuff. So then when you have this coming out and he's your number one guy, he's the face of your show, I don't give a fuck who it is, doing that to a woman, not a good look, right?
There were allegations from Bubba's ex back in 2017 of him getting on top of her, strangling her, and hitting her.
Do we have video? You have video.
Yeah.
You have video.
Don't believe all women. I don't know.
But hold on. Okay. I mean, I'm just look.
If we're gonna play, I don't know.
Well, hold on. But what I'm saying, that's the company.
Right.
I'm telling you, that's the company's thing. Okay. So then, and the news to me, you just told me before we recorded this, that he's back on the show. Now, I thought he was done, going to get fired, because I think
a lot of us did.
Because we just saw, and we just posted. If you want to check it out, Mike Geronimo, who was a big-time star in Washington, D.C., Don Geronimo get fired for a Barbie comment.
Yeah.
Now, listen, I understand that, the other Tampa host, Orlando, nothing happened to him. I get it. He's protected. Not a big deal. But this guy puts his hands on a woman. I don't give a fuck who she is. And he's back on. Now, I'm curious to hear, you said that you listened this morning, or you have a statement. I'd like to hear if you said anything.
Right.
I don't know.
Because I was curious as well, and I think a lot of us, too, that tune in regularly have been waiting each day. And the crew's done a great job continuing the show in his absence, and, going through the same things, Sporkle, the news, the usual friendly banter. But all of us still were kind of missing him. So today, after, we're all waiting right after the music's playing, And then you hear his voice come in, that deep, booming voice. Just first he says, "Oh boy." That's the first thing he said. And I'm like, he's back. Oh my God, here we go. What's he going to say?
Right.
So it lasted maybe 30 seconds. It was he said it very quickly, but it encompassed pretty much everything that you kind of need to say, from an employer of a corporation to kind of return. Like, you got to address the elephant in the room. But unlike Bubba, he wasn't making his entire show about it, and didn't touch it after that, probably from advice from his lawyers. So he opened with, "Recently at an event, I reacted to a situation in a way that I wish I had not. I said things and behaved in a manner that I regret, and I am sorry. I expect more from myself, and you should expect more from me too. I appreciate the support of everyone in our listening community, and I'm very thankful to be back." It is Thursday, and then we went into the show. That was it. So we weren't going on for hours on end about the whole thing after we've all been bitching at each other online back and forth this entire week and a half. So that felt kind of nice to at least get back into a sense of normalcy, if I want to call it that, for myself and maybe for the the Bones listening audience. But yeah, who knows what's going to happen now? If it's going to continue, now you're saying that this other evidence is being looked at.
Yeah, because they recovered the
right,
two
because they
videos.
recovered.
But again, it's just like what I said.
He's already back, so I mean,
right.
Were you going to pull him again?
I
don't think so.
But okay, so after everything that you've gathered and all that stuff, I mean, I don't know. My vibe, and I'm not putting words in your mouth, but my vibe is you're just kind of like, it is what it is. I don't know. That's kind of like the vibe I'm getting from. Like, I don't expect you to rip, burn down Calta shirts and all this stuff, but I got to be honest with you. Personally, me, I wouldn't want to fucking hang out with him or be. I mean, if that's what you're doing to women, that's just me. Maybe I'm the bad guy. I don't know. Because I'm going to be fair here. Yeah. If Bubba did that, I would no longer be a fan. If it was the other way around. If Bubba did that to Mike Calta's wife, the exact same thing, I would not be a fan.
And a lot of people have done that. So I guess I'm still, I guess I'm a little bit of a piece of shit. I'm going to have to go ahead and own that. What can I say to that? I listened. I still listened. I'm rolling my eyes at Bubba still. Calta's got the claws in me, man. That's what it is. I just love him so much.
Would it change?
I want him to facepalm me.
Would it
just hit me, man. It feels so good.
Would it change if it was just a regular fan? It's hard to really.
Yeah.
And that's crazy.
If you don't know somebody, because it does kind of situational thing. I get it. The act itself isn't. I don't condone it, but situationally, then you kind of wonder what happened. And I get it. There's no reason to hit a woman, yada yada yada, unless she's chasing after you with a gun or a frying pan or a knife or something. Then go ahead and knock her out. But people do kind of always ask. In a way, like she shows up with a black eye. It's like, well, how did this happen? Like, I'm sure he didn't just walk in. It's like Bill Burr's old joke about Chris Brown and Rihanna. Like, she was fucking shooting her mouth off in his face, and he lost it. It doesn't make it okay, but it wasn't like they were just strolling down the street, and she was like, oh, let's go get ice cream, and he's just fucking, shut up. She was probably, like how his joke goes, he was probably up in his face, talking a bunch of shit. And he acted out in a way that he shouldn't have. So you take your licks, you take your suspension, you listen to your lawyers, you lawyer up, you listen to them. It's something any of us as individuals would do if we made a grave mistake. Right. And then if you're fortunate enough, which he said he was thankful to be back, still having his job, that, hey man, I'm sorry, I regret this, I acted in a way that blah 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 blah, and laid it all out there. So I mean, I guess I'm still just rolling with him, man.
How do you think it would play out if Bubba did that to Mike Calta's wife? How do you think that would play out?
That's a great
Just
question.
just a fun game.
That's a great question.
Because I don't think it would be the same way. That's just me.
You know, if you're asking me my honest opinion, I also, too, don't think it would go the same way.
Right. It's
in a weird way. I mean, I have to kind of... That is kind of how I feel, honestly.
So, let me ask you this. I want you... Because we're just letting it out. But
we're letting it out.
I want you to just give your honest opinion.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm like, you're number one in your life, right?
I know.
If I did that to any female, you sticking with me or you rolling out? Separating yourself from me. What are you doing?
If it was fucking random, yeah, I'm looking at you differently. If you were being like, I mean, I would try to probably protect you, bud. You're my bud. You're my number one. So if you ended up acting out like that, first thing I'd probably do is try to get you the hell out of wherever the heck we are. Be like, let's go. And I'd probably yell at you, and I'd be upset with you.
If it was a random, or wait.
And even if it was somebody that we kind of, like, you shouldn't have fucking done that. Like, let's get the hell out of here, man. Like,
so.
But if someone's got you on camera and you have to face charges and stuff, like, I mean, I can't save you from that, but that doesn't mean that you're beyond redemption to me ever.
But
if you rape somebody, that's a different story. But in that same situation, as close as we are, I feel like I could find it in my atheistic heart to forgive you.
See, so a couple things. One, to break that down, appreciate it. The camera shouldn't matter, whether cameras are rolling or not.
Right.
Okay, that's number one. Number
we
two,
live in that
Number
time.
two, I feel like there's a thing with you where you're kind of giving an excuse if you know the person.
If I like you enough, you could...
Than a random person. Like, if I did that to my ex, it's okay because he knows her. But if it was a random chick down the street, that's not okay.
Cool, man. We don't know her story.
Again...
I'm loyal to a fault. I guess I'm just going to have to... That's one of my flaws.
I get it.
I'm like a dog. You feed me, you walk me, you pet me, you tell me I'm a good boy, guess what? I'll follow you into the gates of hell.
But now you're labeled as a woman beater. And
that sucks for you.
Even in high school, like I had a good friend at the time, probably wasn't a good influence, but he was my good friend. Right, he went to jail. I never knew. And then when I found out they actually went because he beat the shit out of his girlfriend, I couldn't be associated with that. I have a line. Now,
beating the shit out of someone and shoving them to get the hell off you because they grab your shoulder and reaching across you because you don't...
Well, why? Because you took her phone.
Trying to get the phone back, yeah.
I'm just saying. You had plenty of opportunities. Now, if he was out in his driveway checking the mail and she rolled up on him, you know what? I can see that.
Okay.
That could be okay.
Right, yeah.
You had security. You had plenty of chances. And now, if the tapes, which apparently when the police are done with them, Bubba's going to release them too, of her rolling up.
Right, he's got no content.
That's not going to make it look any better.
No,
because
it won't.
you acknowledge it. You give her a hug. You're calling her pumpkin. And then after you're calling her C's, but you call her pumpkin. Hey,
that part too.
I don't really care.
I know you don't care, but Bubba being so outraged about the language used, like, come on, bud. Fucking.
I get it. It's like it.
That's probably why he blocked the show.
No.
Yeah, you try, and that's a trend too that was on the Bone Fam Facebook page too. Of anytime, like if you got blocked, they'd take a screenshot of it and put it up there. I didn't put ours up there, but you tried to send that clip to them, which I guess they released anyway. And
well, okay. Let me be fair. Let me give the story.
You just blocked us.
Hold on.
That's your boy. Doesn't want to hear from you.
Hold on. I'm gonna explain. I'm gonna let me fill the story.
Sorry.
And then because I had a feeling you were gonna bring this up, so I actually had to really think about it. Because I did feel some sort of way at first, and I took it personally.
Yeah.
So, I originally sent. I didn't even send him a clip. I just typed up like a little message about the Orlando situation, because I was very curious about it, and I listened to the radio to see what he was going to say. And he was talking about that for a couple days, and he was just missing out. Like they all thought that he wasn't there, and I just wanted to point out he was there. I tuned in, whatever. And, they reached back, oh, thank you for your message, we'll whatever. Okay, no big deal. Well, I didn't, so when you sent me that video, I had no idea at all, because it was before their show,
Right.
that was his girlfriend. So
I found that out through the comments, because
I thought that was a random fan. So I quickly,
Well, they captioned the video with it as that, too, so it almost...
Well, not when you first sent it. When you first sent it, it was just a fan.
Well, now
it was a fan one.
Right, and it said that, now it's changed.
Right. But I'm saying it said a fan.
The initial circulation being that he is... But
right.
You guys knew who it was, so what are we...
Well, I didn't know.
No, we didn't know, but the people that put it out knew.
Right. So I sent it, and it automatically, I was just like, blocked, whatever. So, okay. So at first I took it personally, but then I'm like, okay, let's be 100% honest, okay? We're shit. Like,
oh yeah,
I
tell myself that 8 times a day.
On a podcasting YouTube scale, we're shit. We're nothing.
We ain't shit.
I really don't expect messages or handouts or anything like that from any successful person. Like, we're nothing, right? Like, if we
there is no reason for them to give us a time of day.
If we ended the show, today, right now, no one's gonna care. No one. I mean, okay, maybe a couple loyal fans.
There'd be a fringe group,
but that's it.
Oliver would care. He misses.
But that's it. Like, Calta's not gonna care.
No.
Bubba's not gonna. No one's gonna care, right? Okay. So I mean, how many? Let's just say football players, right? Try to reach, or quarterbacks or whatever, try to reach out, young guys, try to reach out to Brady or Peyton Manning or whatever, right? A lot of them get avoided, whatever. How many rappers or musicians coming up try to reach out to, like, the top guys for whatever reason, right? And a lot of them just get snubbed, whatever, right? And it's usually the ones that, if you just do your own thing or whatever and get naturally discovered, that's when they kind of reach out to you.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, I'm like, listen, I got it. I'm going to stop bugging you, like, whatever.
2 messages is and spaced
whatever.
Out between several days.
I mean,
that's bugging.
Listen, I mean, it doesn't matter. Like I said, it's not a big deal. It's like, look, they don't know who we are.
And that's fine, but they know that you're a fan.
Yeah,
you made that clear, but apparently that doesn't mean
right. Well,
fuck all.
Listen, I mean, I understand, but I'm just saying, just like if Bubba stopped doing the show, I mean, it is what it is.
Hey,
like,
I saw Spanish at a couple of events. He comes up and gives me a big old hug and tells me he loves me.
Right.
I know he does that to everybody, but it still feels nice.
Right. So, I mean, that's all.
He doesn't have to.
I don't take it I mean, it's just not personal. But yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day. Oh, and another thing I wanted to bring up too, like, okay, we all know I'm a big Tom Brady fan, right? Like,
right.
Love Tom Brady. Probably love Tom Brady more than you love Mike Calta. Okay, just saying. I have jerseys. I don't see you having a Mike Calta shirt. Just saying.
I was thinking about getting a big tortoise though, like him.
But I have heard he looks like a manatee. I've heard those comments.
He's a big boy.
Saying. Or wow, God, what was it? Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein.
No, it wasn't Epstein. What was Bubba doing all week? Harvey Weinstein.
Harvey Weinstein. That's
he kept doing that. Calta makes fun of his face all the time on the show that he's got butthole eyes and whatever it is.
Hey, I will say his wife.
You should see his wife, man. Oh my goodness.
Listen,
whoa.
When I saw his wife, let me tell you something. It gave me hope. Anyway, so listen, I love Tom Brady. If he hit his ex-wife, one of his fucking fine-ass female models that he's hanging out with, any woman at all.
Kim Kardashian.
I mean, I would literally throw out all of his shit. I just don't tolerate that. Like, there's few things. Now, I've had that experience. I've seen him personally, too. So, listen, maybe some people are cool with it. I kind of don't. I'm old school. I've grown with it personally. You don't fucking put your hands on a woman. Unless if, she's got a fucking gun to your face or a knife. That's just it. You overpower her. He's, what, 350?
It's a shove.
It doesn't matter.
Right.
Doesn't matter. Because if you did that at work, guess what? You're done.
Oh, I'm fucked.
You're fucking done.
I'm done.
You're done, buddy.
Big time.
You're done.
Big time. If I do it to a guy, I'm done.
Not really.
I would think so. Just assault in general, or what were they saying? Battery. That's why everybody was becoming an internet lawyer. That's exactly why I didn't. I had to say what I had to say at the beginning, because what they're saying is battery, I guess, is putting your hand on someone. The word touching or touch is in that definition of whatever state statute that whole thing was. So I feel like also in the same breath, it probably got thrown out and was angled to say that he, even though we all saw what we saw in the video, legally you could argue that because of her touching him first, not to say that it was okay, with that reaction, now it's kind of like making the penalties offset in the legal sense. It might be why, I don't know though. I'm not a lawyer. And I don't know the ins and outs of the whole case. I just know about what people have been saying online and what Bubba's been saying all week on his show. And of course, just my own speculation and opinion, which means very little, really.
I don't know. I mean, comments will get you fired. Putting your hands on women, we're okay with. DUI, it's all good.
I will say that Calta did not say anything about the negative things that people were trying to come at him with. So
maybe
he did better than Orlando Davis.
Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe because I have morals. Maybe I'm the problem.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Walter Kovacs, man. The only one that gives a fuck about the rules.
I guess so. Listen, I'm just trying to understand. That's all. I'm just a fan sitting back.
Right.
I want to end.
We're just fans.
I want to end on this note. I would love to just, like, if I could just tell Bubba this, or Calta, like,
tell them.
Let's just do this, okay?
Like they're watching.
I would love them. Yeah, they're probably not, but whatever. I would like them to just be in a ring, in an octagon, whatever the fuck. Just
bring back the Calta punch.
Just do it. Just fight it out, and winner takes all.
That would
be
great.
Just let's end it. Like, I'm tired of the sex tape talk.
Yep.
I'm tired of the fucking Calta shit. Like, I'm over it.
We're done with it.
I'm tired of the fucking pity back and forth, because it's been going on for years. Okay? And let's not pretend that 1025 and Calta and all them are innocent either. Because we went to the 10-year anniversary thing, and they did jabs on him throughout the night.
Heather B., thank you so much for hooking us up.
True. Granted.
Love you, girl.
Still had a good time. But still, they did jabs throughout the whole night. I'm like, Jesus, let it go. Like, really? If you claim that you're doing way better and he's unsuccessful, whatever, then be the bigger person and just run on that.
Well,
run on your numbers.
They're just doing
run on your money.
Well, because they know people at their events are going to know that the loyalties. It's almost like Democrat and Republican, the way these fan bases are. Which, with us being able to have this conversation, you should learn something here. But that's who they're trying to appeal to, and I guess they want to make those kinds of jabs. I'll say this: they're not doing it on the air 24/7 for a whole week.
Right.
They actually have shows and things to talk about other than personal drama, and I guess that's what's kind of turned a lot of people off. Just with Bubba this week, it's kind of been going back and forth like the tides.
I understand. I think from him for Bubba's side it's personally, I don't.
Definitely.
I think
if someone hit my girlfriend, yes.
Right. It's a personal thing. And then the personal issue with the sex tape. He from his side, he just feels like he just wants justice for once. From throughout his whole career. Now, granted, he brought a lot of that on himself, so I'm not trying to be like Bubba's a victim here.
Right.
But I am tired of I get it. You made your statement. You could have done a show, maybe two, but to go a whole week about it, and I get it.
Lummi and Anna looked so like miles away.
Right.
The whole time they were just like.
Right.
Guess we're doing this again.
Yeah.
I felt so bad. The mic was on her cheek at one point.
Yeah. Listen, it's,
Poor thing.
And I think he had one lawyer on that said,
Brian Montroni.
No,
that was on today.
Yeah, no, I didn't see that, but it wasn't him.
Other than that, he was asking Dr. Dan's
I don't know.
Amateur expertise on Monday.
Yeah,
it was the same play-by-play breakdown.
It was another lawyer.
Get Bob Menery on there to do the breakdown.
It was his other lawyer, Jay Diaco.
Yeah.
He just said this: let it play out because and again, it's like he doesn't need to get arrested. He doesn't need to have a charge because
And Bubba said that too. That it's not going to happen.
Public perception,
Right?
and listen, if you're a diehard Calta fan, let me ask you this.
Okay.
What for you personally?
What would it take?
What would it take for you to be like, you know what? I cannot support you.
Something to do with kids would probably really do it.
Anything else? Good to go?
Raping women would do it for sure.
Okay, so raping women, anything with kids,
which includes all of it.
Okay.
Blocking me on Instagram,
Okay.
which they don't.
Okay, let me ask. What if he punched her? The Heisman's okay, but a closed fist, that would
Right, because I do still feel at the same time, because it was a turn at the same time, like the hand placement, it happened. I'm speculating, obviously. I don't feel like it was intentional. She just happens to be short. And so when he did that, he probably was just trying to swipe her away, but because of her, and then the hand came and it was right in her face. Well, I'm already here and I'm already in the emotion. There was a lot of emotion in his face. When they slowed it down, it was kind of wild. But if it was a full-on like punch, that might turn the tide.
I'm just trying to get.
It was
get
an
a gauge.
open hand, look like get away from me kind of thing to me. But it was a shove forcefully. But I think it was supposed to be just a push away, and because he's big, she's small, kind of thing. I don't know.
You should be Calta's lawyer.
She also kind of let go of her phone a little bit, too.
Oh, yeah.
You don't see that shit coming. You don't see these
my
big
God.
bear mitts coming at you. You'd be like, hey, look, okay, this is about the same distance. Come on, reach for my phone. Reach for my phone. I guarantee you my reaction time will be pretty good.
Oh, my God.
Considering the rate that he reached like this long. It took this long to get here. Oh, I guess I'll let go because I got a second phone.
You're breaking you are breaking
purse.
You are breaking my heart. You really are.
Shouldn't have taken the phone.
I can agree. Hold on, I can agree on the second thing, but you are like a hardcore Joe Biden supporter, where you're making excuses. Well, if you really zoom in, she kind of was letting off the finger, and I'm like, oh, come on, dude, like. Look,
That's why my shirt says low life.
Oh my God. It's just, I get it, you're a fucking Calta mark, and I'm a Bubba mark, but still, I can say on record, if he did that exact same thing, I could not be a Bubba fan.
And I admitted that I'm going to have to eat that I'm kind of a piece of shit.
Well, she was kind of letting loose of the phone, so, she was asking
it's like how Sean Connery said, they get out of hand. Sometimes you got to give them a little schmack.
Whatever. Listen, let's just Calta Bubba in the ring. I don't care.
That would be great.
What kind
Punch
of
out.
wrestle, boxing, UFC, I don't really. Just a cage match. Winner takes all, loser leaves town. That's it.
Right? All the people that those two could bring there from the wrestling world, the comedian world, celebrity. It'd be unbelievable to get tickets to that event.
You couldn't. Because there would be a fucking riot.
Oh, my God.
Outside. Whoever wins and loses. They'd fucking burn it down like Oregon, buddy.
So great.
They'd burn it down like Maui right now. That's what it would look like. Whatever city that they do it in. Tampa would be fucking gone, dude. So
you're probably right about that.
Just think about it, winner take all, but we'll see.
Like I said, to end it the same way we began it, we're not lawyers, we're just fans. It's a shitty situation all around for everybody, so that kind of sucks. But for me, things are kind of back to normal, so I'm happy.
Let's see what the next radio host let's see what the next.
Yeah, who's gonna be next?
Who's next? What radio host is getting fucked this week, buddy?
Looking at you, Dave and Chuck.
Dave and Chuck the free. What fucking pansies? What fucking?
I like them.
Of course you do. Oh my God.
They're like us.
Dude, I don't even know. They're the best. Oh,
they're like us.
I don't even know who you are.
I didn't say the best.
I don't even know who you are.
Jesus.
They are so out. Okay, goodbye. I'm Leon. I can't with you.